Good afternoon, my name is Liam Neild and this is the MU Review, the place where I talk all things Manchester United in the world of football, and today I'm here to review Manchester United's 3-1 victory over Middlesbrough at the Riverside Stadium in the Premier League. It's a very late video. I apologise to anybody who actually, pays attention to the channel and perhaps, looks forward to my videos. If you're out there, really appreciate you, and I'm sorry for being lazy. I wasn't really being lazy. I was being lazy on the YouTube front, not lazy in regular life. I was super busy. That's why I didn't really get around to doing this video until we're actually closer to the next game against West Brom this weekend than we are to the game that I'm actually talking about, but that's life. Deal with it. That being said, we got the victory, a victory that we really needed, especially after Arsenal dropped the points and gave us yet another opportunity to get out of 6th position. It would have been our third missed opportunity of the month of March alone had we managed to not get the points here today. But we actually have gone through and gone up into 5th place. I'm not going to sit here and celebrate being in 5th place. For any reason really, especially not if that's where we end up at the end of the season. Given that that's where we finished last season, and it cost Van Gaal's job, and he even won the FA Cup. So we definitely still have to have our eyes on the top 4, and this obviously greatly encourages us with regards to the top 4, because it shows that our squad is actually deeper and has more quality and depth than perhaps we've been given credit for throughout the season, than perhaps we've shown throughout the season, because this is a time when squad players, as is their purpose, stepped into the roles that were vacated by players like Ibrahimovic and Pogba, who were injured and suspended respectively, or vice versa. And Pogba's the injured one, Ibrahimovic the suspended one. And we got the 3 points and we got 3 goals, and that's something that even with all guns firing, we've struggled to score that amount of goals in a game this season. I couldn't tell you the last time, probably Leicester away was the last time we scored 3 goals in a game. So very good in terms of goal scoring. And the goal scorers as well, you sort of look at players who've stepped up. Ashley Young with a killer delivery for Maro and Fellaini, 2 players who you wouldn't have expected to have stuck around under Jose Mourinho maybe, but they actually have, and they've scored a goal here, so fair play to him. Jesse Lingard, my man, my favourite Manchester United player. He oozes personality and he's proving a lot of his doubters wrong with a great performance. He was man of the match for me, spoiler alert for the end of the video, and he scored an absolute worldie, probably the best goal he's ever scored, even better I would say than the goal he scored at Stamford Bridge last season. So well done Jesse Lingard, and that was an important goal, because that, with about 25 minutes to go, really solidified our position and meant that when we did slip up due to some very poor defending from Phil Jones and Chris Smalling, 2 players who we are still waiting after all these years to develop into those fully fledged centre-backs that Ferguson was supposed to have scouted 5 years ago now. They let Middlesbrough back into the game, but luckily Victor Valdez actually did United a favour for the first time in his career, even after having played for us for a few games, and completely Steven Gerrarded a ball that he had retrieved from Antonio Valencia, who, fair play to him, in the 91st minute ran the full length of the pitch to score that 3rd goal. So good for Valencia. He's had a fantastic season at right back and really proving a lot of his doubters wrong as well. And Mourinho, what a vintage classic celebration of him going down the tunnel. I'm going to start leaving work like that. That is just, it endears him so much to the Manchester United fans. Not that he really needs to. We're giving him all the support that we never gave Louis van Gaal, to be honest, as far as the fact that even if he's not showing the results that we've been wanting this season, he has shown that the club has come on, or the team has come on leaps and bounds from the Van Gaal and Moyes eras of the last 3 years. And despite the fact that in league position we're pretty much the same where we were last season, if not a little bit worse off, we look brighter going forward. We've got some extremely talented young players coming through, not to mention all the big players that we've signed, the talismanic players like Ibrahimovic and Mkhitaryan, I'm sure will become one, and Paul Pogba will definitely become one. And then obviously with the youth academy, who, although Mourinho has not been as good as Louis van Gaal in terms of bringing through young players, we still have those players, and it is definitely apparent to me that Mourinho is very interested in keeping people like Fosu Mensah and Pereira in his thoughts in the next few seasons. But yeah, the 3 points in the game against Middlesbrough is vital. We got ourselves into 5th position, and now we could just take a break, foot off the gas for the international break. 2 weeks, a perfect time really, especially when we've got players out injured. For all the players who are injured like Pogba, and a player who like Ibrahimovic, who's suspended still and obviously doesn't go on report to international duty for Sweden anymore, gives a lot of time for them to recuperate, rest and get ready for the run-in, because this is it. We've been waiting all season for this run-in, and we're a bit disappointed because Chelsea have kind of spoiled the fun by running away with the league title this season. But as far as every other position in the top 4, and don't get me wrong, I'm not writing the cheque to Chelsea just yet. I just think it's completely theirs to lose at this point. Every position from 2nd down to 6th is or even 7th now with Everton coming into the picture, is completely fluid as far as I'm concerned. I could see us finishing anywhere in that range. I'd like to think that we won't finish below 5th, but you never know. We've got to, show up in our performances. We've got to show that we can close this season out after, some ups and downs. We've had some big performances, some big games, and some really promising stuff from a lot of our players, but we also had a lot of frustration and a lot of disappointment and a lot of acknowledgement of how far we still have to come. So with these last few games coming in, I think we're going into game week 30, or maybe it's week 29. I think it's the 30th. We're playing our 30th game of the season this weekend against West Brom. Fresh off of an international break, obviously players who went on international duty will be less rested than players who didn't, but Paul Pogba hopefully will be back, or will at least be a lot further on in his recovery, and obviously Ibrahimovic will be fully fit when he is recalled to the team after he serves. I think the West Brom game is the final match that he's suspended for, so we'll have him back, and he is vital to our last few games. So I think we've got 8-9 games left in the league season. That's almost 30 points to fight for, and as Manchester United, with teams like City, Spurs, and Arsenal, and Chelsea all still to play, we very much have it in our own hands to do whatever we really want to this season, as far as getting as high up as second place in the league. It's going to be very difficult. A lot of those games are away from home. I think we're playing Chelsea at home, which obviously is one of the tougher games in the league season. Not many teams have beaten Chelsea this year. I think only 2 or 3, or at least since they went on that winning run, they haven't been losing games at dropping points very much at all. But we've got games, I think, in back-to-back weeks where we have to play City, Spurs, and Arsenal. I think 3 times. Three out of our last 5 games are away to direct rivals in the Champions League, and those are the kind of games that if you get points out of those games and you win more, or you don't, if you get 5 points out of those 3 games, you're probably in the top 4, especially if you win your other games. So I'm rambling a bit now, but it's been a bit of a long break. I'm really excited to get back into Man United mode. I hate England still. I've not forgiven them for the summer. Go check my old channel if you want to see my scathing review of the Iceland game. I've heard it's quite good. It's probably the more popular video I've ever had. But that being said, I don't want to talk about England at all. So looking forward to getting back into Manchester United action. Looking forward to the Europa League. We're really getting down to the wire. First time we've ever been in the quarterfinals of the competition, to my knowledge. So, and we've got a shorter trip to Anderlecht, so I'm really looking forward to that. And yeah, just looking forward to these last couple of months of the season. If you've enjoyed the video, please hit the like button. Subscribe if you want to see any more videos like this, and comment on it if you've got anything you want to say. I'm happy to have open discussion in the comments below. And yeah, thank you for watching. See you next time.